All right. Welcome, everyone. We are hosting the webinar from Disconnected to Aligned, powering smarter, faster product delivery with integrated QMS and EBR. We're glad to have you here. My name is Spencer Dean, and I am a regional sales director here at MasterControl. Been here for about 5 years here in Salt Lake City, Utah, where our headquarters are located. And I am joined by my esteemed colleague, Nicole. You'll meet her here shortly. She is one of our amazing solutions consultants. So without further ado, let's dive in here. All right, so it's probably lunchtime for most of you right now. It's close to lunchtime for me, so we'll use that analogy. First, we're going to dive into some recent findings from a research report that MasterControl did. So you can kind of think of that as the appetizer. And then that'll set the stage for some insights on what it means to have a connected platform. After that, then we'll have Nicole do kind of the main course, which is going to be a demonstration of our quality management solution and electronic batch record technology. You may hear us refer to that as a light manufacturing execution system, or keeping with the food analogy, a diet MES. So, great taste, less calories, and way less cost for sure. And you'll discover, hopefully, as we go through this, really our EBR solution, again, electronic batch records, is kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the quality world, where our goal is to get you into a paperless, errorless, frictionless future in your organization. And then lastly, we will wrap up with some Q&A, so we'll call that our dessert. So just a couple of housekeeping items. First thing, if you will notice at the bottom of your screen, there should be a Q&A function. That is how we will be answering questions today. We'll leave time at the end of the webinar to answer some questions. If we don't have time to get to all the questions, don't worry. We will send them via email, or you can always reach out as well. And so just don't use the chat function. Again, using the food analogy, if you use the chat function, it's going to kind of be like you're talking with your mouth full and we're not going to be able to understand. So use the Q&A. And then the last thing, the lunchroom and drinks and restroom, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. All right, we live in a world of trade-offs, right? It's like deciding between whether you want to save money or eat out. You've got to have something that's top-notch quality that doesn't break the bank, where the system is safe, because that's your bread and butter, as well as, having to be able to produce like a restaurant at brunch on Mother's Day, right? Where you've got to be able to meet that demand as it comes in. But you also need the security of a locked system. So think Fort Knox for your data, where it's completely safe, while still having that flexibility of the Swiss Army knife I mentioned in the prior slide, where you have, you're ready for any task. And then lastly, you've got to make sure that you're compliant. That's constantly there, but it also, you don't want to prevent you from innovating at your organization. So those are kind of the trade-offs that you've got to think about when you have solutions that aren't connected, that makes everything in your organization very manual and inefficient. So what is the solution? So, knocking down these trade-offs it means building bridges within your organization. And the idea here is, having a digital transformation within your organization. And going digital isn't just a trend. I mean, if you think of it like the old days, like the flip phone versus the smartphone, right? It's game changing, because it gives you the ability to really align everyone in your manufacturing and quality organizations, and give you the efficiency, think like a group text on a smartphone. You used to not be able to do that. And then also just improving the operations overall, helping everyone hit their goals, kind of like you're able to hit the like button, right? Where everybody can see that. So we interviewed over 300 quality and manufacturing professionals about going digital. And, 58% of them have said that it is top of their list, right up there with a stress-free holiday with their family, which we all want, right? And most people have started some kind of a digital transformation. However, they still have work to do. And so it's something that, it's a high priority, but not everybody has started that process. So I want you to imagine that at your fingertips, you were able to make better business decisions with fewer errors, with the efficiency of like a Tesla. How about being able to access your data when and where you need it so that you're able to make better business decisions? And then also have a seamless integration between those systems. So, no more foot races around the office to find that information you're looking for, only to discover that it is on someone's desk in a folder. I'm sure many of you are smiling right now because that happens all the time. And so that's kind of the difference of what going digital and getting connected in your organization can do. It really, it's like giving your operations department an express lane, whereby you can bypass all the traffic, you can get to your destination a lot faster and a lot more efficiently. So this was kind of funny as we discovered. So we asked when you ask the manufacturing people, about a third of them say that their manufacturing speaks with the quality. And then when you ask quality, about half of them say their quality speaks with their manufacturing technology. So think of this like a race. The only problem is that, the same team is running on two different tracks, right? You're running a relay race, so nobody knows what's really going on. And the goal here is, with the digital transformation, is once you connect those two, it really gives you the ability to optimize your organization so you get that synergy and efficiency. So rather than 1 and 1 being 2, 1 and 1 is 3 because of that synergy. So I'm not going to go through this. There's a lot here. MasterControl, one of the nice things about our solution is it is a purpose-built, connected, and configurable closed-loop platform. So if you think of it, it's kind of like, building a bridge. It gives you that connectivity between your quality and manufacturing departments so that you can turn your organization into, a well-oiled machine that, it's integrated, it talks to each other. It gives you the ability to scale as your organization needs to scale. So whether you're a small organization and need to grow into it, or you're a large organization and need more function, we're able to give you that with the MasterControl solution. One of the things that as we've been in business, our research shows that even though there's a lot of hurdles associated with doing a digital transformation, the key is, if you have the right partner, that digital leap becomes more of just a hop. And that's really our goal, is to make it as simple as possible to implement and integrate our system into your organization. Our goal is to help you find a solution that most closely meets your needs. And, MasterControl gives you the configurability to do that based on some of the things we've talked about. So just some high-level results just to take a look at. So, this is more holistically: 10 million errors eliminated, training checks, launched over 4 million. On average, we get companies between 90 and 95% right first time, reduce deviations. So these are some holistic metrics, but I always like to give a real-life example. So one of our clients is called Agron. And this company literally is saving 15,000 sheets of paper every year. They have reduced training by 450 hours every year. And they have gone from a 40% to a 90% right first time. So as you can imagine, they're literally saving hundreds of thousands of dollars a year as a result of the MasterControl technology. And so again, we'd love to help you if some of these things, if these are challenges or issues that you're facing in your organization and you're looking to do a digital transformation. Those are some of the results that you can expect. So with that is what I'm going to do now is I am going to transition over to Nicole, She'll just give you a brief background on herself, a little bit about what she's going to talk about, and then we're going to get into the live technology so that you can see for yourself what this looks like. Again, just as a friendly reminder before I transition to Nicole, please use the Q&A function at the bottom. If you have questions, we'll be answering those at the end. And without further ado, I will hand it over to Nicole.
Thanks, Ben. So hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Evaluate webinar showcasing MasterControl's quality and manufacturing suite. I'm Nicole Thomas, the solutions consultant at MasterControl, and prior to coming to MasterControl, I was actually in your shoes. So I worked in the quality space for 10 years, working for organizations that were regulated by FDA and ISO, working off of siloed systems. Audits were very, very difficult. So I actually sat as a business lead to help implement MasterControl and was a sysadmin and user of MasterControl for a few years. So I'm excited today to show you the system. Today, we'll be taking a look at MasterControl's one platform solution that can provide you with that closed loop connectivity between your QMS and EBR. MasterControl's offerings will not only help you digitize your quality manufacturing processes, but will also help you cut down on both the time and resources needed to manage those processes across multiple systems, such as I did, or even on paper, which is, I'm sure, what most of you are doing today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the solution. So get my screen shared for you. Spence, can you confirm that you can see it okay?
Looks great. Yep.
Awesome.
And you're sharing, right?
I am.
Yep. Well, obviously, because I'm seeing it.
Okay. Great. So we're going to first start with our quality excellence solution. MasterControl offers permission-based licenses. So with that, we're going to start by looking at a basic user license. So these are going to be for your users that have limited rights into your system. So upon logging in which we can link into single sign-on, it's going to bring your users to their dashboard where they can go ahead and access the tasks that they have been assigned to them. MasterControl is also equipped to send out notifications anytime a user receives a task, letting them know that they have a task awaiting their attention. It also will send out reminders when tasks are becoming due, as well as overdue reminders. From here, basic users are easily able to access their training tasks, their training folder if they want to revisit any previous training. They're also able to access the Explorer folder, in which the Explorer folder is a great way for organizations to organize their documents for their end users by building out what we call organizers, which are essentially just virtual folders. That way, in a few simple clicks, your end users are quickly able to access the documents that they need in their specific job function. What's nice about MasterControl is it is roles and rights-based, meaning that you can control not only what your end users are able to access in terms of the different applications that MasterControl has to offer, but you can also control the level of what documents you want your end users to be able to access as well. So from a basic user standpoint, you might only want your end users to be able to access the released version of your documents. You don't have to worry about them trying to work off of draft documents or even documents that have become obsolete. So users can quickly access the document that they are needing to review, and it'll go ahead and provide them, in this instance, with just a PDF view, in which MasterControl does have an inline PDF publisher, allowing for the system to publish those documents for you. We also do some training checks along the system too. So if users go to access documents that they haven't completed their training on yet, the system will prompt them, letting them know that there's training that needs to be completed against those documents before it allows them to sign off. Users also have the ability to search for documents. So again, allowing them to search for document numbers, certain document titles, even using a keyword. The enhanced search function is going to search for all iterations of that specific keyword, even providing some autocorrect for you should that be needed. But again, it's also going to only provide them with the results based on the permissions into the documents that you give them access to. So that is the permission-based license from a basic user standpoint. Keep in mind that these users have very limited rights into your quality management system, and they'll also have the ability to launch off a quality event should you give them permission to do that. So next up, we're going to be taking a look into the permission-based license as a full user. So a full user is for the users that have more manage rights into your system, giving them the ability to create, revise, approve documentation, setting up training requirements against those documents or other training needs, being able to review and assess risk against your quality events, and ultimately bringing those to closure. For your full users, it's still going to bring them to their My MasterControl dashboard, giving them quick and easy access to the tasks that they have assigned to them, as well as send them those notifications anytime that they receive a task. MasterControl products do sit on one single platform, and today we're going to be focusing on the documents, training, and quality events modules in our Quality Excellence Suite. All of our products do sit on one single platform, giving your end users quick and easy access into the various documents or modules or applications that they might need the rights to be able to view. With the Documents module, this is where documents can be created, generated, and managed. We also have a built-in workflow builder that allows for you to digitize and automate your document workflows. We do provide some pre-configured workflows that allows for you to get an easy start, but these workflows are configurable, allowing for you to decide the different paths or routes that your documents might need to go on, as well as the ability to define who those documents are going to go to. So again, allowing for you to automate your processes and allow for the system to notify any users that are impacted by new or revisions to documents. When documents are generated within the system, it will generate what we call a document info card. So a document info card is how MasterControl captures the metadata around your document, such as your version information, things like your document number, also configurable, allowing for you to build out what you want your numbering series to look like. So it's going to capture your document's version information here. You can also reference any specific standards that a document might adhere to, making it really easy for you to search for those later on down the road. You can also quickly view any training that might be linked to that specific document, so quickly showing you the status of training. You also have a powerful tool in our attachments and links section, allowing for you to link documents to one another. So if you have, say, a work instruction that's part of your SOP and you want to link those documents together because it's referenced within your document, what the system will do is that if you go to make a change to any one of those documents, but MasterControl recognizes that there's linked documents to it, with our Smart Link feature, the system will notify you, letting you know that there might be other documents impacted by this change, asking you if you want to include those in your change packet. So just making sure that all of your documents stay current and up to date with one another. And then one other thing I like to highlight here is our history section. So within MasterControl, you will have full visibility into all of the different tracking areas within the system, including your documents. So providing you your full audit history or audit trail rather, as documents are revised within your system. Assuming that you have the appropriate rights to view any previous versions, you'll have access into those, but giving you full visibility into the history of that. So with your documents, we also provide a collaboration workspace within MasterControl. So no longer having you to work on your documents outside of the system in a paper-based world. MasterControl provides a collaboration workspace that allows for your users to now work on the documents right here within MasterControl. We do have integrations with Office 365 products, allowing for you to use Word and make changes to your documents as needed. And the system will also capture all of the changes that take place within the system. Again, giving you full visibility and your audit trail into the changes that are taking place within your system. With MasterControl 2, the system will provide automatic updates for you. So as documents become approved, because our documents sit on the same platform as our training module, you can have the system auto-configured to automatically launch off training tasks for you once a document becomes approved. In turn, it's also going to update your Explore folders for your end users, making sure that they have access to the latest and greatest versions of your documents, assuming you give them access to only the released versions. Those permissions will make sure that they have access to the latest revisions of those documents. So no longer having to worry about updating your folder structures to make sure that your users have access to those. The system will automatically take care of that for you. So from there, with the Documents module, as I mentioned, our training module sits on the same platform. So with the training module, this allows you to generate courses that are tied directly to your documents within the Documents module, or you can create courses for other types of training needs, such as safety or HR onboarding. Each course is just going to capture information around your course. If you want to include course instructions, set it up on annual-based training to allow for the system to automatically launch off training for you. You can do that as well. Each course info card, because MasterControl is file agnostic, meaning as long as your end users have the native file formatting program on their computer to support that file type, MasterControl can too. So from the documents module, even into the training module, you can use PowerPoints, even include videos, or maybe even link into a website that you want them to view. The training module also offers some exam tools. So we have an exam tool that allows for you to generate exams tied directly to your courses. And we also have a new exam generator tool that allows for the system to automatically generate some questions for you based on the documentation that you've provided in the tool. From here, users can, or you can go ahead and assign training a few different ways, whether you're assigning training to directly to your trainees, or you can set up job codes. So think of like a training matrix that defines who needs what training. You now can put that digitally into MasterControl and manage that within the job codes area. So where that you maybe creating an all company job code where your corporate policies live. Maybe you have some department specific training, or maybe you want to make some role specific training, where you can create a job code for each of those scenarios and then build out a course curriculum saying all of the courses that specific job code needs to take. And then all you have to do is apply your users and roles to the job code, and they'll inherit that curriculum. So it makes it super easy for training assignments. Once training gets assigned, users get that email notification letting them know that they have a training task that needs to be completed, in which they can then go ahead and access that specific training task, get a quick introduction around the training. This was provided in that course info card. Move on to view the material, whether that's a document or some other type of material that was added in. You also have the ability to set up course requirements requiring users to view the documents before it allows them to move forward and take an exam and ultimately sign off. So lots of different options there in terms of how you can use the training module. When it comes to reporting out in training, we have a few different ways in how you can do that. You can view the job code status, where I like to refer to this as almost like a competency matrix, providing you that visual aid where you can quickly see the status of a job code in terms of who's assigned to that job code, as well as the courses that are provided in it. What's nice about this is, say you have an operator that's out one day, you can pull up the job code status view to quickly see who else has been trained in that area to make that employee replacement. Each employee, too, is also going to have their own training folder. So during an audit, if you are requested to pull up a training record of an employee, you can quickly do that, and it will provide you with a full listing of all of the courses that user's been assigned and which courses they have completed, also giving you the ability to print this off should it be needed. So the training module provides you different ways in terms of how you can execute training, whether that's courses tied directly to our documents module, as well as being able to use the training module for other training needs. You also have the ability to set up classes if it's ever needed. In further reporting, MasterControl has our Insights tool. This is our business intelligence tool, providing you with data and analytics into the health of your quality management system. So with our Insights tool, we do provide you with some pre-configured out-of-the-box dashboards and reports that you can quickly access, giving you full visibility into the metrics within various areas of your quality management system. So in terms of training, if you want to come in and quickly pull up a dashboard to see in-process training tasks, you have the ability to do that, even allowing for you to filter out information as needed. With Insights tool, you also have the ability to allow for the system to monitor metrics for you. So if you want the system to notify you of any notifications around certain employees or specific courses, you can set up what we call pulse notifications, allowing for you to set up thresholds against certain metrics, put in who you want to be notified in a quick message, and allow for the system to monitor those metrics for you and notify you of any trends going on. Along with the different collections of dashboards and reports in the training module, we also have various collections of reports and dashboards from our documents module, quality events, allowing for you to gain access to trend charts, as well as the production areas or production records area. So far, we've taken a look at the Quality Excellence Suite, highlighting the document, training, and the insights tool, providing you the data and analytics around those two modules. So to finish up with the quality excellence suite, we're going to take a look at AQEM. AQEM is our advanced quality event management solution that is a no-code formula, providing you with the ability to use AQEM in a few different ways, actually. So it is a no-code form-based solution where we provide some out-of-the-box templates. So we have some pre-configured recommended templates that you can choose from. The recommended templates are based off of industry best practices that will give you a quick overview from start to finish in terms of what that process flow looks like. Each template you can see here is built off of single and parallel steps, allowing for you to build in conditions based on certain inputs to allow for you to assess which path certain processes might need to go on. Each template will provide you with an overview around what that workflow includes, as well as a few FAQs around it. You also have the ability to click into each step to get a quick general idea in terms of what are the fields of information that specific process is looking to capture. With AQEM, you have the ability to use our recommended templates as is, or you have the flexibility of making them your own, meaning that it's going to create an editable version of that workflow for you that you can then make modifications to. So instead of you having to adapt to the processes that we provide, you can use ours as a base to build out your own. The beauty of AQEM as well is that you have a new workflow option. The new workflow option allows for you to digitize any of your form-based processes, not limited to just the ones that you see here. So for instance, if you have a business card request form you want to generate, or maybe a process that you want to allow to assess for risk and opportunities, you can build out those workflows and digitize those within AQEM, and also have the ability to report out on those using our business intelligence tool called Insights. From a AQEM standpoint, users still get email notifications anytime they receive a task in which they can go ahead and access that task to fill out the information that's provided within that process form. So far, we've taken a look at the Quality Excellence Suite, providing you with an overview of our documents, training, and AQEM, which is our Advanced Quality Event Management Solution. Next up, we'll be taking a look into MX, which is our Light MEX, providing you with your electronic batch record needs. With MX, you have still those permission-based licenses. So from here, your production records dashboard, as a builder, you'll have the ability to see and create master templates, which ultimately generate the fields your operators will be completing. So with these builders, you can come in and generate a batch record based on a unit procedure, operation, and phase level, to where you can build out the various steps that need to be taken throughout your batch record and be able to configure what information or what activities need to take place throughout that batch record. So for instance, here is our master template builder that allows for you to see all of the different tools that are offered for you to be able to use to build out your batch record. The beauty of MX is that it does tie in directly to our documents, training, and quality events modules, meaning you can link in directly to a document and allow for the system to perform some training checks for you based on the operators that are completing those tasks. It'll do a check to make sure that they've been trained against those procedures. In turn, you can also build out the ability to launch off event forms from your records as well. You can see here that this is a drag and drop master template builder. So you can drag and drop various steps here if you want to reorder things. On the right-hand side too, you can see that there's also properties that you can define within each of your steps if you want to allow for witnesses or verifiers to take place within various steps of your electronic batch record. You can apply those. You also can say where you want corrections to be applied. For an example such as a numeric data entry, you can also set numeric limits, allowing for the system to set limits as a means of preventative action, where you can set up notifications should limits be reached, which is all going to be configurable. So you have the ability to define the different activities that need to take place within your batch record, as well as being able to add in step completions here, in which when activities are complete, the system will automatically capture the name, date, and timestamp for when things take place. Within your batch records too, you also have the ability to set up dependencies. So if you want certain steps to take place before others, you can build that into your master template as well. So once you build out your master template, from an operator standpoint, they'll be able to come in and view the specific batch records, again, that they have permission to. So it's still going to be roles and rights based where you can limit who's able to work and see on certain information within your system, in which if they have the ability to launch off a new batch record, they'll have the ability to select which template based on active templates. It can connect in with your ERP system using our open API. You even have the ability to set up product families. So in the event that you have different variations of a product that you'll need to capture, you can build those into your batch records as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at one that we already have launched off to show you what that looks like from an operator view. So from an operator view, it'll show them the production record front page here in terms of what production record they are currently working on. You'll see here that the steps are going to be indicated with these little blue dots here. And that's just referencing that there's dependencies. So for instance, if I try to move forward and carry out a step where I haven't completed those dependencies, it's going to give me a warning saying that this page is blocked until I complete those dependencies. So in terms of an operator view, they can come in, again, view a document. If you link in a document to your record, the system will do a training check. So if they try to perform actions in this specific batch record and the system recognizes that they've not been trained against that procedure, it will actually prompt them that they need to go ahead and complete that training before allowing them to move forward. Users can come in and go ahead and mark their completion of steps. You'll see here that it automatically captures who those steps were performed by, providing you with that date and time. We can go ahead and enter in some information here. So say I go to put in something that's outside of those limits and I accidentally type that in. Because this step allows for corrections, I can go ahead and make that correction because I accidentally typed in the wrong information. I fat fingered that information. So it'll allow for me to make those corrections where you have that built in. What's nice about it too is it's still going to provide you with that full audit trail showing you all of the corrections that have been made as they take place. So we can move forward and go ahead and complete these steps. For instance, say there's an area where you mark the step complete, but we didn't use the 40 milliliter beaker. We used a different size because that specific beaker wasn't available. Maybe we need to launch off a deviation so that way we can have that captured. You'll have the ability to launch off your process forms directly from your batch records as well, providing you with that link to show you the direct connection between your quality events and your manufacturing. So with from an operator standpoint, they can come in and complete the various steps within their production, ultimately allowing for reviewers to come in and verify and make those verifications where those are needed. From a production record standpoint, you also have the ability to come in and, as a reviewer, conduct a review by exception. So if we looked at a completed batch record, we can do a review by exception, where this will show us, it'll highlight all of the elements of the record that need to be reviewed. So highlighting all of the steps that were corrected, if any attachments were made, forms were launched off, or where limits were exceeded. So as a reviewer, I can come in and review that information. I can even see what the corrections were. I also have the ability to come in and view where limits were exceeded and take further action and launching off any additional quality events should those be needed. So as a reviewer, I can come in and complete that review by exception, and then ultimately providing my disposition against that record. So with manufacturing, you're also going to have access into insights as well. So again, providing you with those key data and analytics against your all of the information within your quality management system, as well as your EBR. So we right now we've covered the connection between your QMS and EBR by showing you the MasterControl's quality and manufacturing suite and how these This one platform solution can provide you with that closed loop connectivity between both your QMS and your EBR, and how these offerings can help you digitize not only your quality processes, but your manufacturing processes all in one single location. Alrighty.
Awesome. You hear me, Nicole?
I can.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
I hope, so that was the main, going back to my lunch analogy, that was the main course. I hope you guys, you're probably full now. So as what we'll do now, let me just share my screen. We'll just take some time to do some Q&A. Some Q&A questions did come across. Looking in two spots here. And we'll just go through those. If we end a little bit early, I'm sure no one will be disappointed to get some time back into your life. So we'll see. So the first question, the gentleman actually said the question got answered, but I'm a big believer in that if somebody has the question, maybe somebody else had the question as well. And the question was, if training is overdue, can the system not allow them to do anything else until the training is completed? And the answer to that question, hopefully you saw that as Nicole was going through it. The answer is that is correct. You cannot move forward. Our system will not allow an operator to, on both the quality excellence and the manufacturing excellence tool, you can't move forward if you are not up to date on your training. This is a place where I'm sure there's some people here that have had the friendly FDA stop by, and that is an easy target that they will often look at is, are your operators all trained on the latest standard operating procedures in your organization? So it will not let your operators move forward. The cool thing is it will recognize that. It will put up an error message, and it will give them the ability to immediately go into that training and complete that training, whether there's an exam associated with it or not. So, from going back to my example of Fagron saving 450 hours a year, that's a good illustration of, it will help make sure from an audit perspective that you're audit proof, but also make sure that, your staff is up to date on the latest SOPs. Okay, let's see. Anything to add to that, Nicole?
No, in terms of the manufacturing piece, if their training is not overdue yet, it will still allow them to move forward, but it's only when it's overdue will it actually perform that training step and block them from being able to be completed. They can quickly, like you said, go in, complete that training task, do a quick training check back on that production record, and it'll quickly allow them to pick right back up where they left off.
Awesome. That's a good clarification. Let's see. Question is it possible to get the EBR solution, just as a friendly reminder, electronic batch record or light MES, as a separate package, or is it bundled together? And so the answer is yes, you can get that as a separate package. Our QX and our MX tools, our technology, are two separate solutions or modules, if you will. And so you can just, if you just want the QX piece, you can buy that. And if you want the MX piece, you can buy that later if you would like. And we have every option under the sun. We actually will give you a little better deal if you buy them both together. Think of it, going back to the food analogy, it's the combo meal. You can get the combo meal for a little better price, or you can do them individually if you would like. So that's completely up to you. We didn't hit on this. I'll just briefly mention it. Kind of another exciting thing we have is logbooks. And so if logbooks are part of your organization, that's something that we're also able to help you with. I'm sure we'll do a webinar at some point in the future on that as well.
There's one coming up very soon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And the logbook too will integrate directly with their electronic batch records as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, let's see. The question, this is, The question is, how does the ERP integration work? So I'll take a stab at this, and then maybe Nicole, if you want to add. So basically, in today's one of the other questions, I'll kill two birds or get two birds stoned at once here. Anyway, if the technology, most software solutions today, they have an open API, and so as long as the API is open, which any of the major ERPs, whether that's SAP or Oracle or NetSuite, Workday, we can directly provide webhooks into that technology to pull and push the data that you need inside of our technology. As far as the process goes, it's typically, we do have solutions that are right out of the box. If it's not one of the more well-known solutions, we may have to do some kind of a scoping call just to make sure that we're all on the same page. But I just want to let everybody be rest assured that as long as there's open APIs, we can integrate into your ERP. It is not uncommon at all. I would say, especially in larger organizations, it's kind of a given. Everybody expects that. So we are able to accomplish that. Anything to add, Nicole?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see. If you launch a form from a step, does it pre-populate information from the production record into the form? I'm not sure. Do you know, Nicole? I think it's dependent on how you set up the workflow, right?
I believe it's referring to data mapping, and I believe that's a feature that is coming.
Okay.
Not 100% certain yet in terms of our product roadmap.
So just so everybody knows, another cool thing that we're doing is we're making some pretty major and product enhancements to our technology. The advanced QEM that you saw today is pretty new, pretty recent, and way cool. We're getting a ton of accolades from our clients, and we'll continue. That's one of the great things about software as a service. We are a cloud-hosted solution, so anywhere that you have an internet connection, you can get access to our technology, whether that's on your phone, your iPad, your desktop, or whatnot. So lots of cool things happening. One of the things we do is we reinvest a lot of our top line revenue back into the product. And a lot of those investments, I'd say not a lot, most if not all, are a direct result from feedback from you, from our actual prospects and clients and what they're looking for in the solutions. Logbooks is a great example of that. Like, we just had an overwhelming response to, we kind of put it out there that, some people were interested, and it just like wildfire has taken off, huge interest. So we developed that product. So that's just one real life example of how we take feedback from our prospects and clients for our technology. Let's see here. Let me mark this one off. Okay, so typical integration time, how long does it take from paper to digital batch records? So they're asking, this question is in reference to the EBR only. So this is another cool thing, and Nicole, again, I'll give you some time to add to this, but so we have had companies, one of our clients is Pfizer, you might have heard of those guys, and we typically, it is about somewhere around 120 days to the first live electronic batch record. So the time to value is extremely fast, and that's on the EBR side only. On the QMS side, just I'll add that to it. That also can go fairly quickly. It's dependent on the complexity of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to configure. So that kind of varies based on that. And based on, for example, a larger company may have, thousands of documents versus a newer company that doesn't have as many. And so all of those kinds of variables have to be taken into consideration. But obviously our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible so that you are getting that time to value. Some of the enhancements that I just mentioned a minute ago are actually going to be automating a ton of that process so that your time to value will be even quicker. And so the short answer for the EBR, 120 days to 180 days. And on the QMS, you can do it as fast. I would say on average, it's probably, 3 to 6 months, depending on the complexity for the QMS piece. Anything to add to that, Nicole?
No, I mean, it's really, like you said, dependent on situationally how many documents they have, resources, things like that.
Let's see, check one other place here. There was a question on the flow chart. It came in the chat. Remember what I said about speaking with your mouth full? I actually looked at it. So I'm doing what I said I wouldn't do, but that's okay. The question was, I wrote it down, was just more around like the flow chart. I think you illustrated that in the, how you can do that drag and drop in both MX as well as QX. You can build out those flows the way you want. Drag and drop. AQM is the same. It's low code, no code, which is kind of a cool thing these days. You don't have to call on the IT cavalry anytime you want to make a change. That's one of the other advantages of our MES is that our light MES is, typically that a full service MES like literally can take years and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to set up and implement. And that is not the case with our solution. The other thing is some of those behemoths are fairly inflexible. They are very regimented, customized. And so when you want to make changes, it's a big deal. You do have to call in the IT cavalry and there's costs associated with that. So that's one of the cool things about our technology is that flexibility, that drag and drop functionality. Anything to add to that, Nicole?
No, I mean, the only thing that I was going to add on there is, in addition to the time that it takes when you're making changes, is the validation of it. So MasterControl has a patented tool called our Validation Excellence tool. It's a risk-based tool that reduces your validation time from sometimes months to years down to days, even hours. It's a really neat tool, but we provide a full validation of the software before it's released to you, so that way you don't have to. And the beauty of it is that with our AQEM and manufacturing, we offer validation on demand because we know that there's times where those processes need to be updated and you want to be able to execute those and turn them back around so that way you have no downtime. And with that validation on demand tool that's built directly into those products, it allows for you to go ahead and validate them right there on the spot. And it'll provide you with the validation reporting needed to accept our testing. So just wanted to add that in there as well.
I think that's a really good point. And just as a real life example of an enhancement, we're working on validation on demand. So as you build out workflows, you'll be able to validate those also in real time online. So just some cool stuff. Just a couple more. Looks like we're doing okay on time here. One of the questions was just around what solution people implement first. And the answer to that is I think it's totally dependent on your scenario. So, there are clients that don't manufacture. So obviously that makes the decision easy. You're not going to need any kind of a manufacturing solution. For those that do manufacture and do need the quality piece as well, I think it's just dependent on, where most of your pain points are. We do have the ability to kind of phase that out for you so that if you want to start with one solution and then 6-8 months later roll out the next solution, we're able to structure the way that we roll out the software that way. Like I said, you do get a little bit better deal if you buy both at the same time to incentivize you to do that. So it's totally dependent. If that's something that you're interested in speaking with us about, we're happy to talk with you about it. Again, no pressure. Our goal is to find you the solution that most closely meets your needs. And if that's not us, like, that's okay. Like, we just want to have the conversation. Another one just popped in here. Can I use your QMS system and APIs to communicate with our manufacturing work order system, specifically training, competency, certification, verification? So again, I'll just give you the standard answer. This is one that this is one I haven't seen before. I've seen something like it, but as long as there's an open AI, we can make that integration work. It just depends on like the use case associated with it. So for this specific question, this is probably one where we would want to just set up maybe a 15 or 20-minute call with our integration specialist, and just go through like what are the expectations. But the answer is yes, as long as those APIs are open. Anything to add, Nicole? Okay. I think we've got most of them. Oh, there was one question on licensing. I'll just answer that real quick. It is a named user license model. And so each individual does have to have a license. And so anyway, it's a roles and rights solution based on permissions. So each user does need to have their own license. I think that's everything. So really appreciate everyone's attendance. We know that your time is valuable, and letting us have some of your time is, we really appreciate it. I just want to highlight, so I'm going to leave this up for a minute. If you want to grab your camera, your phone on your smartphone. If you want to learn more about MasterControl, this will take you to the contact page. You can also reach out at info at mastercontrol.com. If you would like more information, or you want to just kind of talk about your situation, again, no pressure. And then we've got a poll up as well that you can also answer if that's something that you're interested in right away. So anyway, hopefully you've had enough time. Again, info at MasterControl. If you scan this, I'll just give you a few more seconds. This will take you to our contact page. And then one other thing that I want to highlight. So every year we conduct what we call our Masters Summit here at Salt Lake City, where our headquarters are located. So if you're a skier or a snowboarder, you can leverage this. Tell your boss that you're coming to this, intensive work meeting, and then bring your skis with you and your snowboard. But it is downtown Salt Lake. It's the 14th through the 18th of October. We actually, I'm going to brag a little bit. We actually do a really good job. I'm not just saying that. That is based on feedback from our prospects and clients. It is a great place for you to collaborate with other people in the life sciences industry or ISO. And really just, whether you're a small, newer company just starting up, or you've been around for a minute, or you're larger, we've got everything in between. So we've got the Pfizers, we've got the Thermo Fishers, all the way down to, brand new companies. And the feedback that I can continually hear is just the opportunity to speak with other prospects and clients about the challenges that you're facing in your business. Typically somebody there has had the same or faced the same challenges, and you can talk with them about how they solved that, how they used oftentimes MasterControl's technology to solve those problems. So it's a great opportunity. It does get more expensive as time goes on. And so if this is something that you're interested in, I would highly recommend you check it out now and start, planning for that. Again, this QR code will give you access to that. It's also on our website, mastercontrol.com. If you miss this, and I'll leave it up for just a second more. And with that, we will call it a wrap. 6 minutes early. You are welcome for those extra 6 minutes of your lives back. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We appreciate your time, and we hope to be able to speak with you soon. With that, over and out. Everyone have a great rest of the day and great rest of the week. See ya.
Thanks, everyone.